when he's in the middle of transforming and he like walks out to the door and he like looks at his wife like like I imagine her being like, you want to go out?
You
want to take a break? You want to go potty? You want to go outside? He's just like
Initiating weekly entertainment brought to you by Extra Rad. Boys Meet Film will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enjoy.
Welcome to Boys Meet Film. My name is Michael.
I'm Cinema Overlord, but my friends call me Max.
Cinematographer, Sean for short.
and I'm the cinemanimal, but you can call me Kellen.
And we're going to be talking about Wolfman today, directed by Leigh Whannell, the director of The Invisible Man and Upgrade. And he was also notable for being the actor in Saw. I don't really remember what his name is in Saw, but he's the guy that's all chained up, you know, with the other guy.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that guy.
Yeah.
Weren't both of them chained up?
Yeah.
Okay,
He
so
was
one
of
them.
the chained up
He
guys.
said
Alright.
chained
Now,
up with the
did
other
he
guy.
hack
Yeah,
off
I
his
know,
own
but
leg?
like the other guy was also chained
I
up.
think he
Yeah,
was
that's what that
the
meant.
one that...
That's what that meant.
Yeah, I
hacked
know.
off
I
his
just
own
don't know
leg.
which one he's referring to, but I can figure it out later.
I think he's the guy that hacked off his own leg.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
Cool.
And we're going to look back at this
Spoilers,
later and potentially find out that I'm completely wrong. But yeah. The cast, we have Julia Garner from Ozark, is what she's most famous for, I would say. Christopher Abbott from Poor Things, the guy at the very end that turned into what did he turn into again?
Whoa, spoilers for Poor Things, dude. Jeez.
Oh my god. Okay.
He
if you
turned into a
haven't
goat. It was a goat.
Yeah. He was the goat. And then
What was his brain? His brain was a goat.
yeah.
Never mind.
Oh yeah.
And the synopsis is a family at a remote farmhouse is attacked by an unseen animal. But as the night stretches on, the father begins to transform into something unrecognizable. What did you guys think about this movie?
Whoa. Good synopsis.
I didn't write that. That's from IMDb.
I know. I wasn't saying that you
Oh,
did.
okay.
Yeah, I was just saying it was a good synopsis.
Oh,
It's like in general.
Yeah. It was well spoken.
thank you.
Yeah. No, you said it great.
Thanks. That's all I was looking for.
Did the movie say it great? Parts of it. I think the movie said parts of it great.
There was a lot of very fun moments to it that were a little fun.
Kellen's pretentious brain is
This movie sucks. It sucks so hard. On the suckle meter, I'd say this was a 9 for me. 8.9. No. Actually, it was probably an 8.5. Yeah.
Yeah.
There were some cool points.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But
were they
holy
redeeming?
shit.
Were they redeeming? I don't think so.
No.
yeah.
This
Nah.
movie was terrible. It was really bad.
But the parts, there were cool parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were cool
And
parts.
when we get into spoilers, I'd love to talk about those parts with you.
Yeah, I've seen all of Leigh Whannell's films, Upgrade and The Invisible Man, and
Thoughts on those?
those two films I think are both flawed in their own way. I think The Invisible Man is probably his best film so far. But something that I've noticed and is really evident in this movie is the dialogue in his films it's garbage,
Dog shit even.
really bad.
Yeah.
Why
is Daddy sick? He got fucking slashed by the thing. You weren't paying attention?
Yeah, but then she's so smart at the end of the movie. Make no sense.
Yeah.
Can Daddy not be sick anymore? I don't want Daddy to be sick anymore. I really don't like it.
You have to make him better.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's something about Daddy being sick. Not fan of. I don't like it.
These are all real lines from the film, by the way.
Yeah.
I Upgrade and The Invisible Man, I feel like what's redeeming about those movies is the style and the way it's filmed and the editing. There's some really cool, unique choices.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like he tried to do that with this film. And there were some moments that were really cool.
Yep.
But I feel like those moments happen pretty early on and then they immediately plateau. Like they never
Yeah, they didn't get to the place where they could have gone, I feel like.
No.
Because the concepts were so sick. They established these like really cool rules and then they did nothing with them.
Yeah. The way I felt is that every single cool thing was in the trailer.
Oh.
Like if you just look back at the trailer, like every cool shot, every like cool like little stylized thing, it's just in the trailer.
Really? I guess I didn't watch the trailer very
Okay.
hard.
But
I'll have to take another look at that.
oh really? You guys went in completely blind or
Well, I saw the first trailer, but
Yeah.
I don't remember the things that I liked in the movie in the trailer.
okay. I mean there is one thing that I actually liked the best that wasn't in the trailer with the
Yeah.
spider.
Yes.
Oh, that was cool.
We can get into that
That was
a
cool.
little bit later, but I don't know, I just feel like some of the like
Did they do the night vision thing with the trailer?
They
I didn't
did, but they didn't do the transition with it.
yeah,
Okay, got it.
The
wasn't-
transition
yeah.
was so cool.
I don't remember seeing that in the trailer.
yeah, so
That's my bad.
what we're
That's why I thought
referencing-
it was like a zombie movie. Because of the trailer portrayal, like a POV zombie movie. POV at times zombie movie.
Uh-huh. I
It's
think you're the
called
only person.
Wolfman, dude.
Yeah, I think you're the only person that thought this was a zombie movie.
It had so many zombie elements to
It
it.
definitely did, though.
I
There
mean,
were
it
so
reminded me
many
a lot
zombie
of Dead
elements.
Alive.
yeah, I mean, to be fair, there were a lot of zombie rules.
Yes.
Yes.
Like you get bit or you get scratched by the thing, you get infected,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's less like romanticized than like, other werewolf movies that we might have seen. Twilight.
and then you really want to eat flesh. So zombie like.
Speaking
Yeah.
of Twilight, I feel like right now we have kind of a Edward versus Jacob thing going on here with Nosferatu versus Wolfman.
That's not even close, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, honestly,
Vampire and werewolf.
I just wanna say I've always been Team Edward, and I still am.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
100%.
Oh, really?
Yeah, fuck Jacob.
You didn't see Taylor Lautner's abs in Twilight, dude?
No, I saw. No.
He saw right through those washboard abs.
No,
Yeah.
Wasn't even paying attention to him.
Honestly, I'm with you though on this one. Nosferatu was definitely the higher concept film in this comparison.
Yeah, and executed so much better.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, and they actually explored concepts rather than like,
Yeah. No, yeah.
can I just say something?
As long as it's not a spoiler.
Well, I mean, is it even really a
Hold
spoiler?
thy tongue, Kellen.
Didn't
Until we get to
we-
the
We will
spoiler
get to
section.
it.
Didn't we see the whole movie in the trailer?
Kind of. I mean, yeah, honestly,
What if some poor chap hasn't seen the trailer
You're
and
right.
then you just ruin his dreams?
Yeah, I'd hate to deprive you of this movie.
what I would like to say is that this movie is super predictable. Like, I would say 15 minutes in, I knew every single thing that was going to eventually happen.
Tell him the thing.
Oh my God. There is an incredible theater moment between me and Kellen.
Okay.
So there's a scene where he's getting sick
Yeah.
and his wife has the little notepad and she's like, write how you're feeling, which one, ridiculous.
Yeah.
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 Two, Kellen was like, dying.
Yeah.
Sorry if you guys can hear that. Dying. And we were like laughing. We were like, oh my God, that'd be so stupid. Sure enough.
Yeah.
They flipped the notepad around, just
I
says
know.
dying.
And
I
I
was
it was the most absurd thing that I could think of in that moment.
yeah.
I
was disappointed by that because I thought for sure he was gonna write Wolf. That would
I was too.
I would have been happy about that.
I saw the line. I'm like, oh, there's gonna be a W.
Oh,
There's gonna
I
be a
hope
W.
Wolf. Please, Wolf.
There could have been so many like different words.
Yeah.
Like
It's a-
hungry or, you
Yeah.
know, sick.
It's a
Or
drawing of
something.
like
I
a
don't
furry. Like,
Or it would have been even better if it's the dramatic turn of the notepad. It's just gibberish. She's like, I don't know what you're saying.
and that would be more realistic.
I'm a wolf.
Yeah.
I don't know how to write.
Yeah.
Or it's just "Ow!"
Yeah.
Starts howling.
Even just like a frowny face or something
Yeah.
would have been way more effective than dying.
Yeah, dying was so dumb.
Yeah, that was oh man. Yeah, I don't know. There are just so many choices in this movie. One thing that I noticed that fucking pissed me off was anytime, like, it felt like every scene that had dialogue, there was music behind it, and the music like never helped the scene once. It just like always made it feel really cheesy.
Yeah, it was tonally off. I
Yeah.
felt the score in general didn't feel good.
Yeah, it was like a really basic horror score.
That was a licked score.
Yeah.
That's something they pulled off licked. Or
Yeah,
like,
it didn't
you know.
feel very original.
I don't think this guy uses lick.
You don't use licked, dude.
Or not licked, I guess, but you know,
Yeah.
It's like royalty free.
yeah,
You mean like
licensable
YouTube free music? Yeah.
royalty, yeah.
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 Licked is
Yeah.
like
If it was like Justin Bieber,
Real
or
Licked is
like,
really cool, and if they like to sponsor us,
yeah, we
we'd
love
that.
we love using licked, to be honest with you.
Licked is
and-
great.
it's
we pay-
a
and
a
we pay the
music
subscription.
subscription software.
It allows-
Okay.
The way
it
he's
allows-
saying
We've talked
it.
about Lick
No,
enough.
let me get the point out, all right? It allows you to be able to pull popular mainstream music and put it in your YouTube
Oh, this is
videos.
getting cut out.
You want to make money on this or not, huh?
No.
No free ads.
But seriously, if you guys want to pay us, let us know. Yeah, no, the music was terrible. I also just there's so many things. When I looked at the IMDb page for this before the movie, Leigh Whannell is the third top casted person in this cast list, and his character's name is Dan. And I just want to ask you guys, do you remember who Dan was in the film?
I don't recall them saying his name.
Is he the hunter in the truck?
No.
Oh.
The reason I'm asking you is because I don't think Dan is a character in this movie.
Yeah, I did not see a Dan.
Was he not the guy, the dad?
No.
That because I don't really know Leigh Whannell.
He wasn't the main character's dad. He wasn't the guy in that like was
Was he-
in the truck.
Was
with
he on the
them.
radio?
Maybe.
What was the dad's? I mean, what was the dad's name?
I don't
Dad!
know. Dad.
Was it like
Was
Drake or
dad.
something?
Are we talking about his dad or the main character?
Main character.
Main character's name is Blake,
Blake.
played
I
by
said-
Christopher Abbott.
Oh,
I thought Drake, and I was real close.
No,
He's
yeah.
a big rap fan.
Oh no.
He loves
That's
Drake.
probably where that came from.
But yeah, other thoughts?
Yeah, I took some notes right out of the theater. My first one was dumb.
Yeah.
nice.
My second one was sound design. I did enjoy some of the sound design. I thought that, and I think it's mainly just that one scene, the spider scene.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, those are my thoughts off
Yeah.
rip. Yeah.
The way I felt while watching this movie is like you're watching like a drunk family member at Thanksgiving, and like everyone in the room just feels like a little awkward, you
Mhm.
know?
Mm.
And they're like not really like self-aware of themselves.
Racist Uncle Dan.
Yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Dan.
No, not you. You're not Dan.
Oh,
Just
Uncle.
we were trying to figure out who Dan was in the
Yeah.
film.
yeah. I think Dan was just this like overbearing feeling of dread that this movie won't end soon enough.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
Dan.
to me, the movie flew by.
Yeah.
I thought it was paced really. I mean, like quickly. Like it
Yeah.
felt
some
quick.
There were some moments that dragged for me.
Yes.
There,
there
I was
were-
like,
of
let's
dragging
get to the
moments.
wolves already.
Yeah.
I felt like the
Yeah.
whole time I was waiting for this crescendo
Yeah.
that never happened. And to me, the movie felt like it was 30 minutes long.
I feel the same way.
And like it just wasn't complete by the end.
Yeah.
There's just something missing.
Yeah, they tried to tie it in a nice bow, and it just didn't land at all.
What would you have wanted out of the ending?
I think what I would have liked is to actually stay in the transition a little bit longer. I felt like him as the wolf transitioning was like really rushed, and it just kind of felt like an afterthought of the movie. Because I felt like there were really cool elements in his transition with the way his like senses are heightening and stuff like that. And I would have liked to see that more and live more with the family, like getting like more and more scared of him.
Yeah, I agree. That was what Callum was saying, how they had cool concepts but didn't explore any of them.
No, and like, can I talk about some of these? Because they're basic.
Can we just get in the spoiler section?
Why don't we go ahead and let's ask who this film's for, and then we'll get into spoilers. Who is this film for?
Kendall would love this film.
Oh, bird.
Oh, damn. I don't think this film's for anyone, honestly. I think it's fun to watch if you want to have a good laugh, and most of the people in the theater were laughing.
We had some big laughs.
Yeah.
I can hear all four of us laughing hard at a lot of moments.
And it wasn't just us either.
It felt like everyone in the theater was on the same page.
Yeah. That's what I was saying about fun, because I feel like we were having fun in there.
It was fun. It was fun. But this isn't a movie to take seriously at all.
I hesitate to say waste of time, because I want to make movies.
Yeah.
And this guy obviously got the chance to make a film.
Yeah.
And so, and we also know what it takes to make something.
Yeah.
So, I know that there was craft and art that went into this.
Yeah.
But I do feel, I felt a little like, it was kind of a waste of time. And I hate saying that, because I do appreciate the craft of filmmaking.
I agree.
Was it worth the $17 you paid for it?
No.
Well, he's a unlimited Regal member. So
Okay. Well, the
We're
$17
really just
that you
plugging
would
all
pay
kinds of
for.
companies today.
It's a Regal Crown member. Or club. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I think this movie is for people who have low expectations, who maybe don't really care what's on the screen at home, at like watching it through a streaming service. They just want it for something that's on. This might be like aired late at night on cable or like, satellite TV. And it's just kind of there floating around until it's not.
Public access cable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this film is really good for people who like to watch movies in the background while they're vacuuming.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's for wolf people, who are like
Furries.
really into wolves and folklore.
Now we're talking about.
Yeah. I think furries would hate this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they would see it as a disrespect to the craft.
To their furry
To the
craft.
craft. Whoa, wait a minute.
It's an art form to Max.
Yeah, Max is like, furs would hate it.
We
Yeah,
would,
guys.
I mean, they would
We
just.
we
Yeah.
deny this. I mean, they would deny it.
Yeah. That's neither here nor there. But
Yeah, I feel like Blumhouse, when they first started making movies, it was really fun. Like The Purge, like
Oh yeah.
really interesting concepts. Conjuring, but I feel like they're just falling short now. Like all of their concepts are not really original. And I'm interested to know like what the creative process was behind this and how much control Leigh Whannell had versus the studio,
yeah.
because this is a part of a series that they're trying to kind of do with like the classic Universal monsters, with the Invisible Man and now the Wolf Man. And
Yeah, even the intro logo was very Marvel. It was like it
Yeah.
was literally like the beginning of a Marvel movie where they're like going through all the different superheroes. This was like going through all the different monsters.
well, I think like they literally have their own cinematic
Yeah.
universe now is what
Got
they're
it.
calling it. And I really hope there's never a like Avengers type film.
Okay, now
It's like,
hold on.
now
Hold on.
that would
That
be
might be
awesome.
Yeah, that might be cool.
Annabelle and the Wolfman during the Purge.
Okay.
And an Invisible Man.
That I would be excited for.
Yeah,
I
that
think.
would actually be fun. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. This movie is for people with terrible taste if they're trying to take it seriously.
Oh man,
I'm
so
sorry.
harsh.
I know.
So harsh.
I respect the craft. I do think there's things about this movie that are really cool.
Yeah, I agree.
But they're very short-lived.
Yeah.
There's not much that's great about this movie, but there's a lot to laugh at, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. I think if you're intoxicated, it's a good time.
Oh yeah. Sure. Yeah.
I don't
You guys-
know though, but okay, I'm taking that back. I still wouldn't put this on.
When you're
wouldn't put-
intoxicated.
I wouldn't put it on.
But what if you have never seen it before?
I don't know. But that's
Sorry,
going.
Bug.
I mean, yeah, but that was just us before the movie. We had never seen it before. So
Bingo.
We're just okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'd really want to watch this a second time.
Yeah.
Don't need to.
I, you know, just going back real quick to what you said about like, you know, the studio's involvement versus Leigh Whannell's. Now that I think about it, it kind of did feel like two different scripts shoehorned together almost. You know, because there was a cool suspenseful element to it, you know, and like really cool ideas as far as like the perspective of the Wolfman and, you know, the sound design, etc. Then there's just this limp-wristed like effort to elicit emotion from the audience with like,
Yeah.
you know, the relationship between the dad and the daughter. And it was just, I don't know. That felt like the sort of, you know, human element that the studio's like, people aren't going to relate to this guy, this Wolfman guy. We got to have some bullshit in there to really
Yeah.
sell it.
Yeah, it almost like borderline like a Hallmark script.
Yeah.
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 And the way that I have always felt about Leigh Whannell's movies is that it feels like it was filmed after a first draft.
Whoa.
Because there's always like plot holes.
Yeah.
There's just decisions in the movie that are terrible
Mm-hmm.
and like embarrassingly bad,
Yeah.
you know, and like frustrating as a viewer.
Yeah.
I wonder how many like revisions there were in the script.
Yeah.
They were probably writing it as they were shooting it.
Yeah.
Fuck, how do we end this? Just make them look at the scenery. Fuck, I don't know.
What do we do at the beginning of this movie? Let's try to do it at the end.
Kind of felt like a 48 hour film.
Damn, yeah.
That's wild.
No, folks, this was
Oh,
not good.
Is it a spoiler to say how I felt like they should have ended it?
Ooh.
Let's just
we just
spoilers.
get- let's get
let's
into it.
get into spoilers.
This is a spoiler warning. Consider yourself warned.
Take it
Yeah.
away, Ernie.
Okay. All right. I think how they should have concluded this story. The dad, as you know, transforms into a wolf. He's like, holy shit, I have all these wolf powers. I want my family to have these wolf powers too. Bites the daughter. The daughter turns into a wolf too. Now the mom is trying to like survive against the daughter that's
Young
also
wolf.
a wolf. And then she gets turned into a wolf. Then they realize how cool wolfing around is.
You can hear everything.
And then they all howl together at the end.
Oh!
And crit. Yeah, and scream.
That's
Boom!
awesome. I love
sick.
that.
We need to get you in contact. I'm really glad. Okay. I'm glad you brought that up because there's something that I thought, like in the script, it really bummed me out because I thought it was going to be kind of a stronger element, but there's this reoccurring, like metaphor of deers in
Yeah.
the film.
Mm-hmm.
And in the very beginning of the movie, when they're going up to the cabin, the daughter is saying, you know, they're playing like a guessing game, and the parents are trying to guess what the daughter is, and she turns out to be a fawn or a baby deer. In the beginning of the film, we see the wolf man or whatever eat a deer, right? A fawn. And then there's this one moment where Christopher Abbott or Blake, he like, I forget exactly what even prompted this, but he's like, I'm going to eat you. Yeah. He was like,
I was like, oh, that was great foreshadowing.
I know. I love
If
that.
they went there. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
That's where I thought they were going to go.
I mean, he
thought-
lunged at her at the end.
I thought it was
So
going
to go, nom, 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 nom,
Yeah, I
probably,
thought it was
as
going
a wolf, though.
I thought it was going to build to that moment where he was going to eat his whole family. And
God, I wanted that to happen.
that
That would have been a better ending too.
Yeah, I thought they were foreshadowing that a little bit when he said, "Oh, that's my daughter, my little monster in the back." And then they look at each other, they're like, "Oh, that,
I know
Yeah,
that's
that's
such a
so
great
I'm like,
opportunity.
oh, that would be sick if like she turned into a monster."
it
And that was the foreshadowing of it.
It feels like maybe there was something cut out of this movie, like entirely scrapped,
Oh wow, yeah, they could have been.
because it felt way too short for what it is. And the other thing too is like so his dad, when he's a young boy, goes missing, right? We
Right.
find out 30 years later, he gets a letter in the mail, and his dad is officially deceased because they just haven't found him yet. I thought it was going to build to this moment where he goes back and it's going to be this epic fight between him and his dad as wolves. You
Right,
know?
yeah.
And it wasn't even that. Like there's a big opportunity there to actually have something kind of cool
Yep.
and kind of emotional.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just completely abandoned in the scene where it happens.
Yeah,
They
he
just have
doesn't-
like this really lackluster fight.
He doesn't even realize it until after.
Yeah.
No.
He's just trying to protect the family at that point.
And Wolf
Yeah.
Dad died so quick.
Yeah.
It was-
The way
And
he
then
was
aren't there
dragging and it
more
looked
wolves?
like Sasquatch, like the
Oh yeah,
when he looks over,
react.
he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that was funny."
This
dude.
movie was a comedy.
There was a
Like,
lot of
Oh,
funny
yeah.
moments,
It-
like in the
oh,
middle of craziness.
Totally. Okay, like when he's in the middle of transforming and he like walks out to the door and he like looks at his wife. Like
yeah.
like, I imagine her being like, "You want to go out?
Yeah.
You want to take a break? You want to go potty? Like, you want to go outside?"
Wanna
He's
go
just like,
Yeah.
Dude, the shot that killed me is he's just kind of meandering outside of the house, and she's like all scared the whole time. And then she like looks out the window, and he's just like looking in the window.
He's right there. Yeah.
But it looked like he just like had dementia or something. He was just like,
Well, dude,
Totally.
he was going through a transformation, dog.
He was going through a hard time, man.
Sorry.
but all right, transformation be damned. How many like sequences were there where like she was like afraid of him or afraid of the monster, and it was literally just the same thing over and over again
Yeah.
of her being like, oh, and then the monster's like, woo.
yeah. He's like, you know what, I'm gonna go back outside.
I think it was
It's a
like
little stuffy
I think
in
it was
here.
4 times that happened.
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
they like held on her and she like, you know, ugh.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like, and that's where it feels like something was completely scrapped because he never once really felt like a threat to them.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's because they like have this huge emphasis like in the beginning of the film that like he really loves his daughter, you
Right.
know?
He'll do anything to protect her.
He'll do anything to protect
Anything.
her. But I don't know. It just felt really flat.
It was really funny how when he sat down with his daughter and was like, "The last thing I'd ever want in the world is for this car crash to scar you. That's just the last thing." And then he turns into a wolf and is like, scares the shit out of her. It scars her for life. Way worse than anything.
Yeah, there was
Like, in
no
the beginning,
resolution.
there's no
resolution.
There's no,
That was
like,
such a weird line. And then he even took it a step further. He's like, sometimes daddies scar their children or something like
Oh,
that.
my God.
Yeah. While trying not to scar their children, sometimes fathers scar their children.
That's what it was. Bingo.
and like there's got to be at least one guy in the audience who's like, whoa.
Just some
That was
drunk,
deep.
Yeah.
some drunk that like hit his kid. He's like, man,
Ain't that the truth?
Man, I gotta stop hitting my kid. No, okay, can I just say real quick, Julia Garner, she, man, you know, I know that she does have the range to excel in roles. This one just didn't seem like she connected with the script, with the character, with the director. Something was off. But there were so many comedic moments in the writing where, like, very early on, where it was almost repetitive. Where, like, when they picked up, what was it, Blake's like old
Derek.
childhood friend Derek, who
Yeah.
we never saw them interact together ever.
No.
Never.
Yeah.
Like, they picked him up in the truck, and like he's like, "So, what are you doing these days?" And like Blake's like, I'm a writer." And like in the back, she like pipes up. She's like, "I'm a journalist," and he just like turns around, and the look he gave her was like, "Shut up, bitch." And then again in the house, like he's like boarding up the front door, you know, and she just comes out. She's like, "Is it gonna hold?"
Yeah.
And he turns around. He's like, his body language is like, "Shut the fuck up." Like,
I like that he said he's like, maybe. Yeah. He's like,
this
it could
fuck,
hold.
I don't know.
I don't know what that thing is.
It looks strong.
Are you stupid?
I do want to say it did hold.
It did.
It did hold, and I was really surprised because it was held by like a plank
Yeah.
on the floor, just
Well,
like
he nailed it in real good.
yeah,
And then hit his hand.
but he didn't secure the top of the shelf, so it could just really easily
Super tippable.
fall over. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I thought that was
Yeah.
gonna like that was gonna be played into eventually.
Yeah.
Like when a character usually asks a question like, "Is that gonna hold?" Then I'm expecting that door to fucking fly open at some
Well, there's where
point.
they got you. There's some good writing right there.
Ooh, there was subversive. They went through the back door.
Screw the front door. I'm going through the back door.
Yeah, he also got in the okay. Yeah, there's just a lot of dumb moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Kellen.
One last
Yeah,
thing
no,
about
go.
Julia Garner.
Oh, go for it.
Just how unfortunate her character was in this film. What I ascertained after watching this whole dang old movie was that her goal as a character was just to accept her husband. Like that was her whole purpose in that film, was to just accept her husband. And I think maybe somewhere in the writing process they tried to like attempt to do that with like, "Oh, I don't want to become like my dad. I don't want to become a monster. My dad's a monster now. Now I'm a monster. Will you accept me?" And there were a lot of like back and forth, like long stares of like, "Baby, I love you, but you nasty." And then
Yeah,
like,
he was like 73% wolf at the first I love you.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. It's like, what was
yeah,
up with that?
There's like no resolve for anything.
no.
Well, it was funny too.
And it was like,
'cause
what's the point of it?
I feel like another main thing for her as a character is she didn't feel connected to her daughter, and she didn't feel like her daughter maybe had the same trust in her as her dad. You know.
yeah.
And I would agree with her. Like,
Yeah.
if I was her daughter, I would be fucking scared because she didn't do shit.
Yeah.
And the whole time, this is something that we both looked at each other like very early on in the film, is they just let the daughter sleep right by the window.
Oh yeah.
No, I know. I don't understand any of the decisions they made.
If that thing can blast its hand through like a wooden door, it can definitely like see a little girl through the curtains and just like reach in there and just, you know?
Well, the first interaction with the wolf is he fucking crashes a window. Yeah. And they put her next to a window.
No, that window had bars on it, dude.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it had a couple bars.
Yeah, it had a
Like,
few bars on it. It
like
was fine.
screwed onto the sides.
Yeah, and that wolf was definitely not super strong either.
No.
Oh no, he was. He
Yeah.
was super strong.
Yeah.
That was one of the perks.
Yep.
That's why wolf life is way better. They should have turned them all into wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wolf life is better. Hearing well, strength, You got like pubes on your chin, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, you can see in the dark, in complete darkness.
Complete
So
darkness.
sick. Okay, let's
That
talk about
was
the cool
really
shit.
That was
was
a
really
really cool
cool.
part of the, go ahead.
Let's talk about the cool shit. We'll start with the beginning of the transformation, which is hearing.
Yeah.
The hearing ability, which I thought they rolled out phenomenally.
That
So
was
cool.
arguably the
So
best part of the
sick.
film.
They nailed that.
He starts hearing this like yeah, like footsteps almost on the roof is what it sounded like to us mere mortals. And you know, and he goes to investigate upstairs. It's all very tense. There's more banging, there's more clanking. He opens the closet door where the source of this sound is coming from, and it's a spider. And it's the legs of the spider that he's hearing on the wall. So cool. Then the camera goes a little sideways, you know?
Oh, because he starts leaning.
Yeah, he starts leaning.
He starts gagging as soon as he
And-
sees that spider. Just,
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
I loved that. I was in on that. I was like, oh, this wolf stuff's sick.
It was really cool.
Yeah.
I thought it was if it was gonna keep that like
Yeah.
tone. I'm like, I was starting to get in it. I'm like, okay, this is gonna get so cool.
Well, that was the point of the movie where I was like, okay, this is why we came here to see this movie.
Right.
And I'm excited to see more stuff like this in the film. And what was cool about the scene is like it was set up like a conventional like jump scare in
Yeah.
a horror movie, you know, the discovery of something in the house, you know, the intruder or something like that. And it was kind of a moment where it felt impossible that the wolf could be inside of the house. So like,
Yeah.
what is in this room? And in the closet, like you see like the walls even shaking a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's just so heightened, the
Mhm.
sensory like overload of him hearing this spider crawling, which is so cool. Also, was that a wolf spider?
no, that was a tarantula. Straight up. It was a tarantula in Oregon.
It was a big spider.
It was a missed opportunity to put a wolf spider in there.
Yeah, it should have been a wolf spider.
Mm.
Yeah, just saying.
Yeah.
What does
Yeah,
a
but
wolf
that was
spider look
was
like?
like one of those moments where we didn't predict the film.
Yeah.
You know, that was a complete misdirection, which was awesome.
I think the second coolest thing in the movie is him not being able to perceive like any of their dialogue because he's like turning into a wolf and he can't understand human language.
Yeah.
And at the same time, visually, like the scene is very bright and like kind of like incandescent, you
Yeah.
know? And then it flips to his wife and the room gets darker and you realize, oh, like he has like heightened vision.
It's
now,
so
too.
sick, dude.
Yeah.
And I love how they set that up too, because when the first time you see it, it's after he gets like knocked out or passes out or something. He wakes up and the color palette was kind of strange. I was like, why does the movie look weird all of a sudden? And then but they didn't go as heightened as later on in the film.
Yeah.
And
That
so
was transition.
yeah, it was like kind of, you're like, oh, it's just bright in the house. And then yeah, once he goes down the stairs and that transition to that closing darkness
Yeah.
was such a cool aspect of the film.
I thought it was
Rad.
really cool in that moment, but it did start to like overstay its welcome, in my opinion. Like as it progressed and it like got like gnarlier, it looked way cheesier to me with like their eyes and stuff.
Yeah, they
Oh,
just didn't
yeah.
explore it. I don't think they utilized it well.
Yeah.
Like it was like a superpower that they just were like, we're just not going to use it well. He can see. He should have seen the bear trap. If he can see in the dark,
Well, he was so focused on what was ahead of him that he was walking straight. And then
that's something you
Kaboomski
deal with,
boo.
dude.
Which I do want to bring up.
Damn.
I do want to bring up the bear trap because I did think it was a fun little nod back to Saw.
To Saw, yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool.
it was pretty cool.
Mm.
I think that
But that's dumb for this movie.
yeah, no, it's stupid. It's very stupid.
Yeah, every action they made was dumb. Like everywhere they went, it was like, okay, we're safe here. Oh, geez, we're not safe here. Let's go to this other place, like 50 yards away. We're gonna be safe. We're not safe. It kept happening.
And I
That's
feel
the whole
like
movie.
as like a viewer, like you know that immediately. Like there's only 3 places. There's the house, the barn, and then the little greenhouse.
Going on
And the
top of the
truck.
greenhouse was the stupidest move.
It
Why?
was so dumb.
Why? Like, why make that decision?
There's a wolf right behind him, man. He was gonna get you.
Yeah.
Well,
You know what they say when there's a wolf behind you, get on the greenhouse.
Why were there not more wolves at the beginning?
Yeah.
At the beginning, the guy in the deer stand who's like, a lot of things change around here. You know, it's like he made it seem like there's wolves all over this place.
A lot of
Yeah.
wolves
Just-
go missing around these parts.
Well, there was for sure 2 in the film that, because one, they saw the wolf as a child,
Right.
and at the end, the dad was the wolf. So whatever happened to the wolf from the childhood?
Yeah, they
I
never
know.
explained the original.
Well,
wolf.
and then also Derek, the guy that was in their moving truck. Why didn't he turn into a wolf?
I think he got ate all the way.
he was.
Oh.
Yeah,
He was
you saw his
torn
arm.
You
asunder.
got to get eaten.
His
all
arm
the
was
way.
completely off.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
get eaten all the way, you don't turn into a wolf.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's no wolf to turn into.
that
That's
actually makes
wolf
a lot
rules.
of sense. Yeah.
Wolf 101, man.
God. Yeah. Another question I have
Basic wolf.
is, so there's the whole scene with the truck, right? She finally gets it started. The wolf kind of screws it up. They have to go back in the house. After that scene, there's so many times where they go back outside and nothing's like really happening. Why didn't they just go back to the truck?
Well, he pulled the gear lever off.
He put it into
Oh,
drive,
okay.
completely off, so you can't do anything.
I think
Well, he just ripped it off. He
Yeah.
didn't put it into drive at all.
When I
it was-
said
it was a
that, when I
neutral.
said that, I did an arm that went all the way through the windshield, so that like you can't put it into anything.
I think
Okay.
that would at least warrant some
it in
further
permanent park.
inspection.
Permanent part.
I think
PP.
I think at that point of the movie, I was fully withdrawn. I like realized I was like, oh man,
Yeah.
this isn't a good movie.
Also, when it's just the dudes kind of like crawling around, you know, it's like
He's a crawler.
just doesn't look as intimidating as it did before. You're like, I could outrun that guy.
Yeah, I mean,
No,
Yeah.
the galloping with his foot cut off, that was pretty quick.
he was,
I don't think
he
you
was
can
pretty
outrun
quick
his
without
gallop.
that foot.
He was very fast without one foot.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah,
You could not outrun Mr. One Foot.
I will say,
Fair.
I wonder if that was all like him actually doing that, because before the movie I like looked at some of the facts or whatever, and it said that in preparation of his role he watched like hours of YouTube videos of animals so that he could try and replicate the wolf movement better.
That's awesome.
I think he
No, dude.
wasted a little bit of time
He-
doing that.
he was watching hours of like horse girl videos, like you know, people who like just act like animals and run around and shit. He's like, this is gold.
It does feel like the like weird girl at recess, like
Yeah.
making noises at
Exactly.
you.
Her,
You know what the 1 foot crawl reminded me of? Callan has this excellent impression of this like little gremlin where he gets real low and then comes at you and
Yeah.
then does a
Grundle.
voice.
Grundle.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, this is so Kellen.
Yeah.
yeah.
If only the people could see that.
Yeah.
Can you do a impression of that?
Maybe at the end for the people who stay with us. But I think I figured it out. I think I figured out why this film is so frustrating for me. Among
Why is
all
that?
the other reasons.
Why is that?
It's because it was caught in between like unintentionally being super cheesy and corny and like trying really hard not to be. And if they just would have leaned into the corniness, I think I would have respected this movie a lot more.
I agree. I feel like The Invisible Man was kind of in the same area, but it slightly succeeded because it felt original, and the actual concept, like for the Invisible Man as a character, was new and different. And I read that like Leigh Whannell was trying to do that with this character, but it didn't feel new or different in any way. Just felt like something that shouldn't have ever been made.
It didn't go far enough.
Yeah.
every werewolf I've seen and other things have full hair. These are like like the cats without the fur.
Yeah.
This is like that version of a werewolf. And I thought that was new.
A werewolf with male pattern baldness.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the studio
Right.
is trying to just like kind of revitalize a bunch of stuff that people don't really care about right now either.
Yeah.
Like I would be cool with the Wolfman movie, but it's not something I'm asking for, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, nobody cared about Nosferatu before it came out.
Exactly.
But, I mean, they did it in a way that was, like, new and exciting. And they explored, like, new depths in characters. Like, this was, like you were saying, Max, I mean, it pretty much, like, they tried to make a comparison between humans being monsters and, like, real super scary, almost supernatural monsters that are explained in a little bit of pseudoscience in this film.
Yeah.
But instead of like going further as to like, what comparisons and what like greater heights can be reached with this information, they just like put those two things in front of you and they're like, what do you think about that? There it is. There are those two things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Lots of poor choices in this movie. There is like to me like the disease I felt like was gonna be like some type of metaphor or motif for something a little bit greater than it was.
I think it was a metaphor for like, the way his dad
Yeah.
treated him as a kid.
But what I'm saying is that was so surface level.
Oh yeah. No,
And they could have done something differently with that.
100%.
There was one shot that was so weird to me and had like really poor framing, and you and I both started laughing really hard.
What was it?
Which one was this?
It was when they're in the moving truck and he's like tickling his daughter, and then the mom starts tickling her and she's like, "No, mommy, please stop. Please, mommy. Please, no.
And the mom says, I can be fun like daddy. I can be fun just like daddy.
That was actually the resolution for her character right there. She figured it out.
Yeah, she just has to tickle her daughter.
She didn't need the movie.
Yeah. But okay, here's another thing that's dumb. I found another thing thinking about this. In the beginning of the movie,
Maybe I caught it.
He's turning. Daddy, why is Max turning?
I don't know if it got
Sick,
picked up,
Daddy.
but that was the loudest tummy grumble.
Dude,
From
I'm turning
Max.
into a wolf. Okay, so in the beginning of the film, the father and the son go to that place, the overlook, the like beautiful clearing, and then they go deeper into the forest, and then they end up at the deer stand. At the end of the movie, they're at the final deer stand, right?
And it was right next to the house.
And it was right next to the
Yeah.
house. And then they go to the clearing and they're looking at it and it's the same shot. And then they go to the same direction, which is apparently deeper into the forest.
Or maybe while they're running, they cut out some time.
Oh, yeah.
I think what I got from that was like maybe there are a bunch of deer stands in the woods.
Could be more
I
deer
think so
stands.
because yeah,
Like, I mean, maybe that's
When
a
they
lazy
saw
way to
Derek,
explain that.
when we meet Derek as a character,
Oh, is that his name?
yeah,
Yeah, he's in a deer
But
stand.
I thought it was supposed to be the same deer stand that he was in as a kid.
I
It
think
sure
that
looked
would have.
like it.
I think that would have been a strong choice. I think there were like 3 different deer stands.
Yeah, no, I understand
Yeah,
that there's
the
more,
one right
But
off
it was
the road.
really confusing and jarring
Yeah.
because they do look identical.
Yeah.
It probably was the same one they were shooting with. I don't know how many deer stands they built for this film.
I don't know. We'll have to look it up.
We won't do that.
I don't think that's lookupable unless you talk to the.
I want to go back to the final shot of the movie, which they edited in a way that there's a lot of editing moments like this in the movie where you just kind of there's no dialogue and there's not really any action, but there's music for some reason, and it just cuts between two characters like a couple times. Cut A, cut B, cut A, cut B, and nothing happens, and then it just resolves. And that was the end of the movie.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Well, you had to think about all the stuff that you just watched.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
All that happened.
They really left us some room to think about
Yeah.
the movie.
Hey, if they shot that in Oregon, it's beautiful.
Oregon is very beautiful.
It
Very
does
beautiful.
look beautiful.
It was
Yeah.
a cool location.
Oh, and another thing that's really frustrating is when somebody is driving on a dark road and then there's suddenly somebody in front of them and they swerve off the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Bro.
going to hit the person in front of me.
Hit him.
Or
Oh, yeah.
slam on my brakes at least, but I'm not going to swerve off the road.
And he did not slow down at all. There were no brake lights. Dude gassed it.
Yeah, he like gassed it off the highway or off the dirt path.
Something about that shot. I know Max and I have been talking about a lot how cool mounted shots were, and I was a fan of how it was like mounted on the back of the truck, and then you could see it just like absolutely ripping into the woods.
That
That was cool.
That was cool.
I
Yeah.
appreciated that.
Yeah.
Back to another stupid line of the movie. Derek is telling him that people around here usually don't stay out at night, by the way. And there's stuff that happens during the day that's just as dangerous as at night. So
Yeah,
I didn't.
the Wolfman in the very first scene is during the day.
Yeah, the Wolfman
Oh, yeah.
doesn't discriminate
No.
about the
was
time
lurking.
of day.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
always out.
I think Derek was out hunting for wolves.
Yeah.
I think he had his sights on some wolf.
I think Derek's a crock full of shit.
Okay, let's wrap this up because the last thing that we have to talk about is how like innocent the daughter was the whole time, and then in the final scene in the deer stand, they're face to face with the Wolfman, her daddy, and she's like, based off look, he wants it to end.
she was.
She all of a sudden had the foresight of like she saw the full movie. Was like, oh, he wants to die right now. It's like, what?
She's like, wait, mom and daddy ain't right.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
He
the
wants it
first
to be,
time.
or he wants it to be over.
Yeah.
That was the first time I actually connected to a character in this movie.
Really?
'Cause I was like, yeah, I want this to be over as well.
Like, shit, that little girl is me. Just being forced to come along for the ride. Yeah.
And then the
that was
dumbass shot at the end too that they tried to tie back to the beginning where he was like looking up at the trees.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Like, why was that even a shot that they cut back to? He's just like, oh yeah, I remember being here when I was a kid.
He
There's-
looked up once when he was a kid, and
Yeah.
then he looked up again when he was an adult.
And now
Really powerful
an adult
stuff.
wolf.
Adult wolf, sorry.
Yeah.
When he was a kid, and
Yeah.
then when he was a wolf.
And I was like, that does nothing for me. There's no correlation to.
You don't get what they were going for there?
Oh no.
It's real mind-blowing stuff.
What were they going for? My
Oh,
thoughts?
oh, well, you see, when he was a kid and he was looking up, it was because he was distracted, and that's why his father got mad at him. And this, when he looked up, he was distracted from dying.
Oh yeah, that is another good fucking point. that was when we were like getting to know the characters, you
Yeah.
know, and like that was one of his like defining like characteristics as a character was like, you're always so distracted, son. You got to stop being so distracted. Like one of these days, you know, something's gonna get you. Dude was like hyper focused the whole film. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, you mega focused, especially mid wolf. But that was the heightened from the wolf. So that was his
okay.
transformation. He was a distracted boy. Now he's a super focused wolf.
So he needed to become a monster like his dad in order to be a better person.
To be more
Which is
focused.
why they all
To get
should have
past
turned
his
into wolves at the
ADHD.
end.
Okay, I have a question for the group. Do you think his wolf dad would be proud of him?
Yes.
Yeah.
In father wolf form or father form?
So father wolf, son wolf.
Or no, he'd be like, you let that bitch shoot you right in the heart.
That's why I never keep a woman in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, where was mom during all of this? Like, no explanation.
No.
She wasn't around.
No explanation.
Yeah, well,
man, Wolfman.
I think we can tie this up and
Yeah.
all agree that this film was terrible.
Yeah. Should we tell people to go see it?
Go see it. You'll have a great time. Thank you for watching. We're going to be talking about Flight Risk next week, the new Mel Gibson movie.
Y'all need a pilot.
And another movie with male pattern baldness.
Subscribe.
Thanks for watching.